What if I told you that thousands of years ago, brilliant minds looked up at the sky, stared at the horizon, and figured out the shape of the world beneath their feet? Without satellites, without Google Maps, without a single airplane, they used shadows, ships, stars, and pure human curiosity. But here's the twist. The more they discovered, the more the questions multiplied. And by the end of this journey, a journey that spanned continents, generations, and lifetimes, even the most dedicated explorer couldn't give you a simple answer. Is the Earth round or is it flat? Let's find out together. It starts in ancient Greece. Around 500 BC, philosophers began noticing something strange. When a ship sailed away from shore, it didn't just get smaller and disappear. It sank, hull first, then the body, then the mast, as if the ocean had a curve. Then came the lunar eclipse. Greek thinkers noticed that during every single eclipse, the shadow Earth cast on the moon was round, not oval, not flat, always a perfect circle. And then, the greatest clue of all, a man named Eratosthenes, a librarian in Alexandria, Egypt, did something extraordinary around 240 BC. He heard that in a city called Syene, far to the south, the sun shone straight down into a deep well at noon on the summer solstice, no shadow at all. But in Alexandria, at the exact same moment, a vertical stick cast a shadow. If the Earth were flat, both cities would see the same sun angle. They didn't. So Eratosthenes did the math. He measured the angle of the shadow, estimated the distance between the two cities, and calculated the circumference of the entire Earth. His answer, roughly 40,000 kilometers, the actual number, 40,075 kilometers. He was almost perfect, with nothing but a stick, a shadow, and his mind. Now, imagine a man. Let's call him Amir. Amir lives in a small village somewhere in the ancient world. He's heard the philosophers, read the scrolls, and he has one obsession. He needs to see it for himself. Is the world truly round? Or are those just the theories of men who never left their libraries? So he packs what little he has and he walks. He walks from his village to the nearest port. He boards a merchant ship and sails across open waters. He watches the coastline disappear, hull first, just like the old philosophers described. The first clue, the Earth curves. He lands in a foreign land. The people speak differently. The stars at night are positioned differently in the sky. He pulls out a simple stick, measures the angle of the sun at noon, writes it down. Another clue. He keeps moving, through deserts, through mountains. He joins a trade caravan and travels for months. In a new city, he meets a woman, a merchant's daughter. They fall in love. He thinks he'll leave in the spring. He doesn't. A year passes, then two. He has a child now, a daughter. But the question never leaves him. Is the Earth round? He kisses his family, promises to return, and continues east. While Amir travels in our story, let's talk about what real explorers were actually finding. By the time of the Great Islamic Golden Age, around 800 to 1200 AD, scholars had not only accepted the round Earth, they were refining its measurements with extraordinary precision. Al-Biruni, a scholar from Central Asia, calculated the Earth's radius using mountain heights and trigonometry. He got it right to within 1% accuracy in the year 1000 AD. Meanwhile, sailors across every ocean were navigating by stars, and the fact that different stars were visible at different latitudes only made sense if the Earth was curved. Then came Ferdinand Magellan. In 1519, he set sail westward from Spain. 3 years later, his ship returned from the east. They had gone around the world. The first circumnavigation, the ultimate proof. Or was it? Because here's where it gets complicated. The Earth is not a perfect sphere. It's wider at the equator than at the poles. It bulges. Scientists today call it an oblate spheroid. Some go further, calling it a geoid, a shape so irregular that no perfect geometric name truly captures it. So even our ancestors who proved the Earth was round were only partially right. Decades pass for Amir. He crosses into Southeast Asia, trading spices for passage on ships. He has gray in his beard now. He's had two more children in two more countries, a son in Persia, another daughter somewhere near the Indian coast. Everywhere he goes, he asks the local scholars, the sailors, the farmers, what shape is the world? Most say round. Some laugh. A few show him ancient maps where the world is flat, with sea monsters at the edges. He's collected years of observations now. The shadow on the moon, the ships at sea, the shifting stars, the different sun angles at noon. Every clue points the same direction. And yet, one evening, sitting on a cliff above the ocean, watching the perfectly flat horizon stretching endlessly before him, he feels something he didn't expect. Doubt. Not because the science was wrong, but because no matter how much he had proved it with calculations, his eyes still saw flat, his feet still felt flat, the world still felt flat. How can something be proven true and yet feel so untrue? This is the most honest part of the video. Today we have photos from space, we have satellites, we have GPS systems that only work because engineers accounted for the curvature of the Earth. We have pilots who know the Earth curves beneath their flight path. The scientific consensus is clear. The Earth is an oblate spheroid. But here's what our ancestors and Amir actually teach us. Truth is not always what you see, it's what you measure. For most of human history, people looked at the world and saw flatness. And they weren't stupid, they were trusting their senses. The problem is, our senses were built for survival on the ground, not for understanding the cosmos. The people who discovered the Earth's shape didn't believe it because it felt right. They believed it because the evidence was consistent, repeatable, and pointed in one direction no matter who measured it or where. And still, even with all that, the Earth's true shape continues to surprise us. It's not a perfect ball. It dips and bulges. The poles are flatter. The oceans pull the surface in ways our maps still approximate. So when Amir, old now, tired, a lifetime of travel behind him, is asked by his grandchild, "Grandfather, is the Earth round or flat?" He smiles, he pauses, and he says, "It is round enough to sail around, flat enough to walk on, and strange enough that we may never fully understand it." Our ancestors were remarkable. They looked at shadows and ships and stars, and they reasoned their way to a truth that took generations to prove. But the real lesson isn't about the shape of the Earth. It's about the courage to ask the question, to keep traveling, to keep measuring. Even when the horizon looks perfectly flat, even when you've started a family on the road and forgotten which city you started from. The question matters more than the comfort of an easy answer. So, what do you think? Leave a comment below. And if you want to keep exploring ideas like this, subscribe. There are a lot more journeys ahead. See you in the next one.